Hello everyone. So today we'll be talking about Codewars. Codewars is a problem-solving platform. Problem solving is pretty important for any software development. All we're doing is solving a problem. So in order to solve problems, we need to be on some kind of problem-solving platforms. We could use Lead Code. Lead Code is more famous, I would say, but lead code is also pretty harder compared to Codewars or hacker rank. You can use hacker rank as well, hacker rank, or there are many other problem solving platforms. If I google, let's say, problem solving websites, let's search that, and we have hacker ranks, Codewars, top coder, lead code, coding game, code chef, and many others. But I prefer Codewars because it is pretty easy, and I get to categorize like easier to harder, and they have this Chinese kata system, which seems pretty cool to me. So I would ask you to sign up right here using your email, username, and password. Let's do just that. uh, I will use my email here, and let's do, not sure if that name is available. I will enter my password. Let's see. Okay, so we're all done. We're set for this. So let's see, which specialized programming tracks are you most interested in. So we are interested in front end just for now, and maybe backend. No, not backend. Let's just go for front end, and we'll select the novice. I'm just starting to learn programming. Yes, we are, and we have a lot of languages to use here. We will use JavaScript, and TypeScript is pre-selected. TypeScript is another language just like JavaScript. Essentially it's JavaScript as well, but it has some type definitions. So you might remember statically typed, dynamically typed. I've talked about this. So when we declare a variable in JavaScript, we do not need to mention the type. It can be anything, a string, a number, or anything. But in TypeScript it's not the case. You need to define each and every variable and each and every object, like what will it contain. That's a video, that's a topic for a separate video. For now, let's just select JavaScript. And are you interested in educational programs? Not really. Not really. You want to receive bi-weekly newsletter? No, I don't wanna receive newsletters. Thank you. Okay, so they're suggesting me 6Q duplicate encoder, but I will not go that way. I would rather go for practice, and then sort by, let's say, popularity first, and then give it some time to load, and then select difficulty of 8Q. As you can see, it says easiest here and hardest here, so we will obviously start from easiest, and let's let it load once again. And as you can see, we have a ton of problems here, and all of them are 8Q. We have sorted it. So let's start with this one, even or odd. Okay, so let's train using JavaScript. We need to click train, and then okay, a few tip, attempt, test, and production quality code. Okay, never mind. So what we need to do here, we need to read this instruction very carefully. So the name of the problem is even or odd, and the problem statement is right here, instruction, and here's the function definition. We can write any function we would have written in VS Code. So let's think this through. Create a function that takes an integer as an argument and returns even for even numbers or odd for odd numbers. Okay, so they're saying to create a function which is already they have created the function themselves that takes an integer as an argument. So this is the argument, let's say. This is a parameter more. Okay, so we will be taking an argument like this, even or odd, and then do some integers like 2 or 3 or 10 or whatever, but not floating or decimal numbers, only integers. So we don't need to check that. So now what we have to do is return even for even numbers or odd for odd numbers. So we need to return strings, as you can see. So let's say return even, just like this, or return odd, just like this. So we need to check whether the number we are taking is even or odd. So how do we determine this? Of course, we need to use if statement. Let's do if number is modulo 2, then use second bracket, return even. Let's do else, although I do not like else as much, but let's do that and understand the logic, and let's see what do we get. So what we're checking here is, I've talked about modulo, so it returns the dividend of any numbers. Let's say the number is 10, so 10 divided by 2 will be 5, and there will be no dividend, so it will be 0. So if the dividend is 0, it should be even or odd. It should be even, I think. Yeah, because it's even. Let's say we can do this as well, but we don't really need to, I think. But let's go and test. Okay, of course it failed because we needed to do that. My bad. Okay, so why did it not work? Because I wasn't checking for 0 instead. So I needed to, if we could do this as well, but we needed to like reverse the condition in that case. If we do this now, and now this works. Okay, so what we're doing now, we're checking if there is any dividends. So if there is any dividends, it will return 1 or 2 or whatever, and then it would return odd, otherwise it would return even. So what's happening here? Let's understand this thoroughly. So number modulo 2, how modulo works, let's Google and see. Modulo, okay, I've written it wrong, but it's fine. Remainder, so it's checked for remainder. So 13 modulo 5, expected output is 3. Okay, so now we're doing the same thing here. Let's say we get 10 or 11 as the number. 11 modulo 2, let's edit it right here. 11 modulo 2, and what do we get? We get 1. So 1 is true value and 0 is false value. So as 1 is true value, it would return in this if condition and return odd, otherwise it would return in this condition and return even. That's why I was getting an error, because it was returning 1 is true and 0 is false. We've already talked about this in my previous video. So yeah, let's just do another test, and the test, we have passed the test. Let's attempt and submit. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, this is taking a bit time to load. My internet is pretty slow right now, I think. Okay, so we could do this in, and now after you have done or solved the problem, you can see other people's solution. There are a lot of solutions, as you can see. This one's the one I've talked about previously, modulo 2 equal to 0, so even, otherwise odd. Or we could do it using ternary as well. I've talked about ternary in my previous videos as well. So this is just an if else condition in a shorter hand. So it is checking the same thing, if we have any remainder or dividend. If we do have some, it will return true, so it would return odd. If we don't have any, we would return even, because we have any, so it's odd. Otherwise, if we don't have any, it would return even. Let's see if we have any interesting solution. They're pretty much the same. This one's a bit different, so n and 1. Okay, what's this doing? I'm not sure myself. Nice use of bitwise operator. Okay, so they are using bitwise AND operator. Okay, this is a bit not for now topic, so let's just ignore that. Okay, so we have done this. So I would request you guys to after you have learned some of these JavaScript topics, as we've talked about in my previous videos, after you have learned those, I would urge you to join Codewars or any other problem solving platform, and start with really simple problems like this, even or odd, or let's say multiply. Let's do multiply. Okay, so this code does not execute properly. Try to figure out why. Let's try to figure out why. Okay, so we have a function, and as you can see, it's saying 1 into b, but this function is not returning anything, so it should return something. Let's see what's the problem is. And as we test, and it says undefined, so if we don't have any return value, the function will automatically return undefined. So all we need to do is just type in the return value and it should work. Okay, or we could do another thing. Let's do this and do the arrow function. As we know that arrow function automatically returns without even using the return keyword. So let's delete this, and const multiply equal to function then a into b, and as you can see, it works as well. So let's attempt and then submit. It is pretty straightforward, as you know that all functions are required a return function, otherwise it won't return anything and it would get undefined. Okay, so this one's funny. Multiply equal to function ab return a into b. Okay, so I would ask you guys to join Codewars and then start solving these really simple problems, and get your problem solving skills higher, and so you can solve real life problems as well. I wanted to make videos about JavaScript, DOM, and web development related stuff, but as the time goes on, I realize it more and more that problem solving is really an essential skill for any software developer, any web developer. You wanna build a website, you need some problem solving skills, because you need these problem solving skills in your development journey as well. And most of the courses or most of the people don't really recommend you to learn problem solving, because it doesn't seem like much, or it doesn't seem like really interesting, but it is really interesting and it is really important. So I would urge you guys to do all of let's say not all, but do as many problems as you can. I would say do 8q problems, 2 to 3 problems a day. As you might be a beginner, you might be a intermediate person, So if you're a beginner, I would ask you to solve 8 problems, like 2 to 3 problems a day. If you are more of an intermediate guy, let's say, so you should solve 6, 7, 5 problems, 2 to 3 per day. I don't get a lot of time to solve problems myself, as I have a job and other tasks to take care of, but I try. And in my other profile, this one I have just opened, so it doesn't have much anything. I have other profile in Codewars as well. I really like Codewars, and I would ask you guys to try it out as well. So let's do one more problem and conclude this video. So let's see, sum of positive. If you not if you get an array of numbers, return the sum of all of the positive ones. Okay, so negative numbers are to be ignored. Okay, so what we need to do is, they're saying if there is nothing to sum, the sum is default to 0. So let's say that sum equal to 0, and let's do, there are a lot of ways to do it. Let's do a simple for loop. Let's say for let I air dot length. So it is checking whether the I is greater than or less than the array length. We should stop when the array length is greater than I. So let's do sum plus equal to array I, and let's return sum. Should it work? Okay, it is not working. Oh, we are not checking for positive numbers, so we are supposed to do only positive number, otherwise it should be ignored. So let's do we're checking for each and every index. Zoom in a bit so you guys can see it better. So we are checking for air I. So this I will be changed every time. It will be 0 first, and then in the second iteration it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, as I have shown you guys in my VS Code debugger. So I will be changed each and every time, and we should check if array dot not dot array index of I is greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, it is a positive number. If it is less than 0, it is a negative number. So let's check this now. It should work. Yeah, it is working. So we really need to understand what's going on here. So we are defining let's read the instruction first. So we get an array of number, and then we'll return the sum of all of the positive numbers. So this ARR parameter is the array. So what Codewars does is provide you with a lot of test cases. So as you can see, we have passed 101 as in all test cases. Sometimes you will pass some of the test cases, some of the test cases you will fail, but we need to pass all test cases to submit here. So let's see what's going on here. We are taking in a variable which is sum is equal to 0. So we are, as they have mentioned, that if there is nothing to sum, the sum is default to 0. So we are taking a variable and then running a for loop which will be iterating over this array. So there are a lot of ways to iterate over arrays. We know map, filter, reduce, or a traditional for loop just like this. So what we are doing next is we are looping over this array, and then we are checking each and every index. If this array index, so if array index 0 as the first one is greater than 0, as in a positive number. So if a number is greater than 0, it is positive number. If a number is less than 0, it is a negative number. We all know it. So and it is checking each and every index like this. The first one is greater than 0, so yes, it is greater than 0. So what we want to do is add this to the sum. So as I've talked about this previously, it is doing the exact same thing as this, sum equal to sum plus array, that we want to change the variable and add up to it. That's why we're using a let and not a const. So we're doing sum equal to sum plus array index 1, so 1 in this case, and then the loop is over here, and then we run the loop once again and we check, and then we increment it and make it 1, and after that we check is 1 greater than or less than array dot length. In this case, this example, let's say this array dot length would be 4, so I is not greater than I mean I is greater than 4, I is not less than I as in 1 is not I mean I is less than 4, my bad, oh my god, I got mixed up. Okay, so I as in 1 is less than 4, so this condition is true, so this loop will run once again and check if the second or the 1 index is greater than 0 or a positive number. It is not, so it would not enter this if block and run this code, so it would just go for that next step, and next step is making it 2 and then checking for this condition once again, and then check if 7 is positive, so 7 is positive, and then we get to add it to the sum like this or like this. I really like this shorthand. So then we keep running this loop until all of the array indexes are checked for this. That's why we're using this condition, I is greater than or less than array dot length. Okay, so this test have passed. So essentially all we need to do is iterate over this given array, and then checking for this condition if it is greater than 0 or a positive number. If it is a positive number, we will add it to this number and then just return that variable which has all of these added numbers. Okay, so let's attempt submit. We'll see some pretty amazing solutions, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, what do we have? My internet is a bit slow, sorry about that. So we have the exact same solution like ours here. So they're taking a variable with var total 0. Okay, they're doing the exact same thing. Here someone is using array.reduce. Reduce is a really interesting and fun solution for this one. I wanted to use reduce myself, but then I thought it would be a bit say complex. So at first we want to do really easy and readable solution. Let's say we want to understand what's going on. These one-liners solutions are a bit tricky to understand, I would say. I can understand this well, as I have solved some problems here, but for some beginner it would be a bit hard. But this the solution we have arrived, those are pretty understandable, I would say. Just we are looping through the whole array and we're checking if it is a positive or negative number, and then add it to the sum variable and then return the sum variable. This is much more simple for us as a newbie people to understand. Okay, so we could use for each as well. For each is pretty simple as well, but they're making it a bit complex, like VIA. They're running another function inside it, not recommended. Okay, so I don't see much solutions, much easy solutions rather. Okay, so that's about it for this video. I would highly encourage you guys to go for Codewars or any other problem solving solutions, whatever you want, to just go to practice and solve the easiest problems, not the hard ones. We don't need to solve like let's say difficulty one q. These are pretty hard. I might be able to not solve these myself. I'm pretty sure I can solve most of these problems myself. But yeah, I can do q4, 4q or 5q uh, pretty easily, I would say. But let's say take it easy and just start from easiest ones. Let's do what I did was just searched with popularity and solved almost all of these 8q ones. Like I took I just they keep track of which problems you have solved as well. Let's go to the top, and as you can see, this tick mark is saying we have solved this, we have solved this, and we have solved this. So you should keep a track of how many problems you're solving, and you should at least solve 1 to 2 problems, pretty easy problems. Let's say you don't know a solution of this problem, let's say. So we don't know the solution of this problem. So what do? You really need to think about the solution at first. If you can't find, I would ask you to search it like this, and then you would get some GitHub repo. This one is in Python, so would have mentioned JavaScript. I actually also wanted to talk about GitHub. I will do that in our next video or the video after that. So if you can't solve any problems, there are a lot of YouTube videos as well. You can watch them and understand what's going on and then make the solution, or you could just take their code and try to follow along with them and really understand what's going on. The main thing here is not to solve as many problems as you can, but really understand how the problem is being solved. Let's say you have solved 500 problems, but all you did was copy paste from the Google, from internet, other places, let's say ChatGPT or anything else. But in that way, even if you solve 1,000 problems, you will not build up the problem solving ability in yourself. So I would really encourage you to really understand the solution we are doing, really understand before following along or after following along. The main thing is you have to understand what's going on, and that's about it. Okay, so thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Keep solving as many problems as you can, and I wouldn't say you should go for like 10 problems a day. Just take it easy, do 2 to 3 problems maximum per day, if you are a beginner. But if you are more in intermediate level, I would urge you to solve as many problems as you can, and don't like go beyond what you can do. Just take it easy, and this problem solving ability you will get eventually and slowly. So we need to go slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay, so I have talked a lot about these random topics. Let's just go ahead and solve as many problems as we can. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next video.